All right, it's that time once again to start some seeds. I'm still learning, still trying to figure it all out. We'll see how this growing season is. I have two goals this growing season. First goal is actually writing down when I started said seed. I've been writing them on the tags, but the tags end up fading, so there's that. So definitely want to write down the dates that I started, so that way I could actually know when it's time to harvest certain things. So if it says 75 days, I know I need to go check back at X amount of date to see if everything is ready to harvest. A second thing that I want to keep track of is actually fertilizing my stuff. I don't fertilize my seedlings. I know it's terrible, but I want to be better at that. So that goes inside with writing down the dates, so that way I know when I need to fertilize the seedlings and whatnot. So that is what we're doing. I have all my seeds right here that I'm gonna start. I'm gonna start probably 2 of each and see how we go from there. It's a bunch of tomatoes, it's some squash, some eggplant, some kale, some of our fall season, and I know it's late in the game, but I am starting pumpkins today. It is what it is. So that's what we're starting with. I do my seeds in red solo cups. There is another creator, another gardener, Jara, who is also based in Florida, that I learned this from. She's like, please, just use solo cups. Now, I don't know if she does this, but I reuse my solo cups. So I just finished rinsing them out. That's why there's water in there. And then I have my big container of seed starting mix. It's a mixture of the seed starting mix that you buy in the store and my own. And I pre-moistened it so it can give a moisture to the seeds. Let's get started without further ado. So all the cups are filled with the dirt right now. I didn't keep track of how many I had. I just have a full table. So now that they are filled with dirt, with pre-moist dirt, now it's time to start these seeds. Now, by no means, like I said, am I an expert. I think I'm going to start with tomatoes first because that's how I have the most tomatoes. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 different varieties of tomatoes. So the first one is, these are red and yellow pear blend. These I absolutely love. They do get wildly out of control if you don't tame them, but they are very productive for me, in my experience. I have these red yellow blend of brandy wine. I want to say I grew these before and I probably got like 2 off of them, but it was most likely user error and not the seeds, please. I have never been successful with San Marzanos, and I don't know if it's because I don't fertilize them enough, which is most likely the case, but I've never had luck with any San Marzanos. The same thing, well, no, actually, I take it back. I try to grow these in the summer. 10 out of 10 would not recommend. I have these pink Berkeley tie-dye, one of my favorites, the Kellogg's Breakfast. I grew these like a year ago, I want to say. So good. So good. If you can get a good transplant and you can and you actually get tomatoes off of this, they're delicious. One of my fave. I've never gotten a lucid gem, but again, I tried growing them in the summer. Not my favorite. Not my favorite. Cherokee purple, also really good. Which one is this one? Ooh, black crim, another fave of mine. Really delicious. And these are green zebra. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if I tried these or not, but we're gonna try them now. So I'm probably gonna do 2 seedlings per cup, and I'm probably gonna do 2 cups per thing. Maybe I'll do 1 cup. I'll do 1 cup. I'll do 1 cup per seedling, so that way I'm not going too crazy with tomatoes in my garden, because that has happened before where literally I just grew tomatoes the whole season. So I'm gonna grab 2 seeds from each packet, put it in a cup. I do have my Sharpie here and ready. I do need to write down the tomato that it is and the date that I started it, so that way I keep in mind when I started it, obviously, even though this video is going to be evidence. But anyway, I digress. So I'm going to make sure that I don't want to pack it too tightly where it makes the dirt like super compact. I'm going to pat it down so it's not super compact, but you know. So let's write the first tomato. We're going to go with the green zebra. That's what the cup looks like. Now let's put the seeds in there. And there is directions on the back of these packets, so please make sure you follow those. Don't be like me and just like wing it 99% of the time. So it says we're gonna do a 1/4 inch of these tomatoes. Do I have seeds left? I do. So I'm literally just gonna poke a little hole, and I'm gonna take 2 seeds from here. 1, 2, perfect. Hopefully you guys can see that. I got the 2 little seedlings in there. We're gonna cover them lightly, but obviously we wanna pack them in. And then when I'm done planting all these seeds, I'm gonna mist it once again. There you go. Green zebra is done. Let's move on to the next one. The next one is the red and yellow pear blend. And we're gonna put the date. So both of these are 75 days. So I need to make sure I write that down so that way I can more or less know if the plant is healthy. Pat this down a little bit. Again, this is another 1/4 inch. These seeds are so tiny. Cover it up. Perfect. Red pear is done. Next, we are doing the Brandywine red yellow blend. Pat it down a little bit. This one is 76 to 100 days. That's a long time, please. Majority of these, I will say, are pole tomatoes. So these are the tomatoes that grow up versus bush out. So it's totally up to you how you want them to grow in your garden. But I happen to find that pole tomatoes can tend to get a bit wild. So keep that in mind. You're going to want to use a trellis for these to keep them upright. There's plenty of ways to keep them upright. We'll see what we figure out this growing season. Cut it down a little bit. These are the San Marzanos.
It takes you up. Have to leave it like that. We'll take this, but our stalk, it broke the track.
All right, tomatoes done. We are moving on to some squash. Now, I've had success with direct sowing squash. However, I'm in the middle of solarizing some of my beds. I've never solarized my beds before, so this will be my first year that I'm doing it. So I can't direct sow seeds in the beds that I want to direct sow seed squash into. So we are going to start them and hope that they survive transplant. So the ones that we are going to transplant, I'm determined for these cute Peter Pan squash to thrive in my garden this year, okay? Because I have yet to experience any type of harvest with this squash. But I digress, please. This is golden zucchini. We have black beauty zucchini, honey nut squash, which I'm really excited about. I tried growing it in the summer. 10 out of 10, don't recommend. And this winter butternut squash. So I have mini butternut squash and regular butternut squash that I'm really excited about. Again, I usually direct transplant into the garden, but because of the conditions, we cannot do it right now. So let's get these. Let's see if we have to dig these. Okay, instead of a 1/4 inch, these squash, which I want to say all of them, these squash have to be sown 1 inch deep. So definitely a little bit more than the tomatoes. And for these, I know it's risky, but I'm only sowing 1 seed per cup. The squashes are all done. Now we are going to move on to the eggplant. I don't have many. I only have 3. We are going to do the Rosa Bianca eggplant, which is a really pretty eggplant. That's why I got it. We're going to do the long purple, and we're going to do the camo. The long purple and the camo, both I've had successes with growing, and I've loved them. So I'm hoping that the Rosa I'm going to have success with as well. And these these are back to a 1/4 inch because the seeds, if you can see, are tiny. I realized that I never updated you guys on the seedlings. I did end up coming out the following day and planting and starting the rest of my seedlings. So we have seedlings that we started on the 5th, seedlings that we started on the 7th. Today is the 9th, and I'm going to show you what we have so far in our cups. Our seedlings are already coming up. We have some tomatoes coming up, our butternut squash coming up. You guys. And it's only been a few days. The zucchini and their butternut squash for sure are doing amazing. And then even our pink tie-dye Berkeleys are coming up. And our Kellogg's. So I've been keeping it moist with this. I'll keep you guys updated. I don't know if I'll give you daily updates. Maybe we'll do weekly updates. I'll do weekly updates with the seedlings and see where we go from there. Thank you guys, as always, for joining. It's time to head out into this heat once again. Love you guys, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.